All right, folks, let's go ahead and do this. This is homework number 8 for chapter 8. Right, match each definition to its corresponding term. All right, so a mapping or movement of all the points of a figure on a plane according to a common operation. So let's look at the different words. Basic function, I don't think that's transformation. Yeah, maybe vertical translation. Yeah, but this one's talking about just it doesn't say if it's in one direction or another. So I don't think it's vertical. Coordinate notation, argument, horizontal translation. You know what? I'm going to go with B on that one. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and say number one. And, I feel like doing some drawings. So I'm going to go ahead and do one goes to B. Okay. A type of transformation that shifts the entire graph left or right. Okay, I know what that one is. Right. Left or right means that it's going to be horizontal. And that's shifting means it's a translation. We're just kind of sliding it around. A function that can be described as the simplest function of its type. Right? So that right there, it's going to be a basic. Simplest is like the basic one. A type of transformation that shifts the entire graph up or down, and we know that one. Okay, that's the same idea as the horizontal, but this one's going to be up or down, which means vertical. Okay, a variable on which the function operates. What do you guys think? That's going to be the argument. Usually, the argument is f or f. Sorry, not f. X, right, or x plus 3 or x minus 3 if we're doing something like what we did today. Notation that uses order pair to describe a transformation on a coordinate plane. And this one, you might be able to guess this one. But yep, this one is going to be a coordinate notation. Okay, you can write the letters down next to each number if you want. Rewrite each function in terms of the basic function, which is the f of x. All right, so let's see. So 13 is done for you. So we're just doing a horizontal translation. See how the x plus 1 is little and it's part of the 3? And when we do that, it's going to be part of the f of x. Instead of f of x, it's going to be x plus 3. Right? So this one is going to be, so g of x equals 3 of x plus 5, which is going to be the same as the f of x, but it's going to be, instead of x, it's going to be x plus 5. Just like that. Okay. This one, g of x, which is going to be the 2 x minus 1, but in terms of the basic function, it's going to be f of x, but instead of x, it's going to be x minus 1. Just like that. This one, g of x, instead of 2 to the x minus 9, it's going to be, and you see how it's 2 to the x is already f of x, so we're going to just go plus 9 on it. So it'll be f of x plus 9. Just like that. This one, g of x, instead of 2x minus 3. And this isn't a little x minus 3 or x minus 9, but this is still part of the x. So when we rewrite this in terms of the basic function, it's going to be f of x minus 3. All we're really doing, guys and gals, all we are really doing is replacing the x, let's say right here on number 16, replacing the x with the x minus 9, right? So instead of f of x, we're going to replace it with x minus 9. That's all we're doing. Or x plus 9, or that's minus 9. I don't know why I wrote plus. Good thing I went back and looked at it. Right? So instead of f of x, we're just going to write down f of x and then minus 9. That's what it really comes down to. Oh. Okay, last one. This is g of x. So g of x is 2 and then x plus 4. Okay, but the plus 4 is with the x. So that means that when we have our function f of x, the x is going to be x plus 4. That's all it really is. Again, we're trying to make it work like the example that they gave us. Okay. They want coordinate notation for horizontal translations. So I'm going to write this as xy turns into okay, and this one has an x plus 2. Remember, what's really going on is it's going to be opposite, so it's going to be x minus 2. And you can see how they did there too. It was x minus 2, and they're using x plus 2. So with the horizontal, it's going to be opposite, comma y. Okay, this one, and again, instead of x, y, we're going to use x. Instead of plus 1, it's going to be minus 1, and then comma y. Okay, again, instead of xy, it's going to be x, and then instead of minus 3, it's going to be plus 3, comma y. Okay, xy. Okay, that instead of xy, it's going to turn into x plus 1, comma y. xy. Instead of x plus 1, it's going to be x minus 1. So whatever you get for x, take away 1, and then the y, you leave it alone. Okay, that's pretty much it. Once you get the hang of it, these are pretty easy. Okay, backside. Each corner plane shows a graph of f of x. Yep. Sketch the graph of g of x. Right? So it says g of x is, and I'm going to go ahead and pick some points. So here's f of x, and I'm going to pick a point right here that looks like there, there, and we'll go with that point, right? So g of x, so that's f of x. Okay, so g of x is going to be, well, the x, but it's going to be x plus 3. Remember, it's going to be opposite. So if it says x plus 3, we're actually going to go backwards 3. So we need that one, and that one. And we will get something that looks like this. Okay, and that's g of x. And this one is f of x. Okay, and all I did was took the point and I moved it back 3 times, back 3 times to the left, and back 3 times to the left. Okay, this is the graph of f of x, which is going to be a straight line. But again, I'm going to pick like 2 or 3 points. Lines are easy. You can just pick 2 points because lines, all you need is 2 points. So I'm going to pick that one, and let's say that one. Right, and this one says f of x, and this is minus 4. See that? So that minus 4 really means that I should be going to the right 4 times. So it's going to be there now, and it's going to be there now. And I can just draw a line through that. Just like that. And again, that's g of x, and that's f of x. This one's a little bit more difficult, so I'm going to go ahead and pick a couple points. Right? I'm going to pick points that hit the corner. So, like, let's say, for example, here, 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 and then one more out here. Okay? So it looks like this, like 6 points. Okay? And it says f of x is this right here. This is f of x. And g of x is going to be the same as f of x, so it's going to be the same shape, except it's going to be plus 5 on the x, so which means, remember, it's going to be minus 5. So each one of these is going to go 5 over. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, so this one's going to be a little bit over here. 1, 2, 3, 4. This one's going to be right here. 1, 2, 3, 4. This one's going to be right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This one's going to be right here. So far, it's going to look something like this. Okay. This one's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 right here. So it's going to come up to where this O1 was, and then it's just going to go across. Okay, and that's also g of x. So it looks kind of the same, but it's been shifted over. Okay, so again, f of x looks like this. Okay, and you put them side by side, they look exactly the same. And that's f of x. Look at it, and g of x, they look exactly the same. Okay, but g of x is actually the one that we want. Okay, so that's that blue one. All right, a couple more. Write the equation of the function given each transformation. Okay, and 41 is done for you. You can see how that works. If they want right 4 times, you see how they use a minus 4 instead? And that's horizontal, so that means it's stuck with the x. Okay, so this one's going to be horizontal again, so stuck with x, but this is going to be left 6 units. So we're going to go ahead and write a function. We'll call this one f of x equals 2, and this is going to be x plus 6. You can put parentheses around it if you like that, like how they show you, but as long as you write it small, oops, as long as you write it small, that actually tells whoever that's reading this that, that's part of the x. Okay, horizontal translation, to the right 3 units, right? So it's going to be f of x equals, and you see how it's with the x, and the x isn't small anymore. The x is kind of like a big number, and you see how there's a little square on the outside of it. So we need to make sure that that happens. So the square needs to be on the outside of it, and instead of writing x square like that, we're going to write it as x, and then it says to the right 3 times, which means I'm going to put minus 3. Okay, that's how it's going to look. And same thing here, f of x, right? And it says if I want it horizontal translation left 7, which means that I'm going to do absolute value. And instead of just x, right, I'm actually going to do x. And instead of left 7, I'm going to go plus 7. Okay, left means positive. Okay, left usually means negative, but remember, if it's horizontal, it's going to be opposite. Okay, that's that. Hopefully that helps. See you guys tomorrow.